All right, you need to know the compound interest formula. Clearly, if you had to do compound interest like this, that seems all right for 3 years, compounding annually. But what if it was compounding monthly for 5 years? That would take forever. You would have to do freaking 60 calculations. That's a waste of time. So you're supposed to be aware of the compound interest formula. But obviously, because there's a little bit of interest getting added on each time, the formula for compound interest is going to be quite complicated. So this is the formula that actually gets taught at Year 11 General Maths, Year 12 General Maths. I'm teaching you the full one straight up. So copy that down. That's FV equals PV times by, in brackets, 1 plus I, small I over K, end the brackets, and that's raised to the power of K times by N. I'll tell you what those letters stand for.
Wait, is it K times by N?
K times by N is the power of the brackets there.
Wait, I don't think that.
Sorry?
I feel like I remember what it means.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry, sir. This is like horrible.
My pencil is not
Was I saying, oh, you're recording, aren't you?
You said your own name. Is it going to be in, does that offend you if that goes up on YouTube?
I
Or
really don't care.
Sir.
still avoid it, please? Yeah. Because it's in the middle of,
I'm just letting you know that answer is here.
put
I'm
an
just
arrow
kind
to
of-
it.
Okay. I've tried.
Okay, what does FV stand for? It is the final value of the investment. So what is it? It's the principal and the interest at the end. PV is the principal. I is the interest rate, written as a decimal. K is the number of compounding periods in a year. So if it was compounding yearly, how many times does a year happen in a year? 1. How many times would a month happen in a year? How many months are there in a year? So K would be 12 in that case. How many quarters are there in a whole? 4, etc. So there is a little bit of thinking that you need to do in the question, if it's compounding interest, to decide what K is. And then lastly, N is the number of years. So can you please be aware, this formula tells you the final value of the investment. SI equals PRT, the simple interest formula, that tells you the interest. That tells you the cherry on top. That's not what this formula tells you. This formula tells you everything put together at the end. So if you wanted to find the interest earned, you do interest is equal to FV, take PV. Question?
Sorry, I
So if the question asks you what the interest was, there's an extra step involved. Just do an example. Find the interest earned on a $100 investment, 5% compounding yearly for 3 years. All of those highlighted things are important because number one, compounding tells me I'm using the compound interest formula. Compounding yearly tells me that K is going to be 1. 3 years tells me that N is going to be 3. And 100 tells me that PV is going to be 100. So plug that into the formula. FV is equal to 100 times by brackets 1 plus, what's 5% as a decimal? 0.05 divided by, it's compounding yearly, so K will be 1 because there's 1 year in a year. And then K we decided was 1 again, so to the power of 1 times by how many years? 3. So you can simplify if you want, which I will do. It's going to be 1.05 in the brackets to the power of 3. So grab your calculator. 1.05 to the power of 3 is a number which I'm going to leave in the calculator so it's not losing accuracy. Then I'm going to times it by 100. So it's going to be $115.76, which is exactly the same answer that we had doing it year by year in the previous lesson. Example 2. Have a look. 8,800 is placed in an account at 4.8% compounding yearly. What's the principal there? What's being put away? Crickets. 8,800. That's the interest rate. How do I know I'm using today's formula? Because it says compounding. Yearly, K is going to be 1. Find the contents of the account. Oh, we haven't answered 1 yet. Sorry, my bad. It's asking for find the interest earned. What this is the total amount. So the interest earned, is going to be FV, what it grew to, $115.76, minus what you put in the first place. So it earned $15.76 of interest. Read the question, fool. Example 2. Find the contents of the account after 3 years. A, FV, as our student said, 8,800 is the principal. 1 plus. What's 4.8% going to be as a decimal? 0.48 over compounding yearly, so it's going to be 1 to the power of 1 times by... Find the contents of the account after 3 years. So it's going to be that. 8,800 times by 1.048 to the power of 3. Calculator again. 1.048 to the power of 3 times by 8,800. $10,128. That's going to round up to 9.00, 2 decimal points. That's A. Find the interest earned on the investment. So interest is going to be what it grew to minus what I put in. Calculator. Take 8,800. $1,329 interest earned. One more example, because I have you and because I teach general maths and I'm teaching the full year 11, year 12 level formula, none of your questions in your textbook are going to ask compounding more than per year, because that's meant to be year 11 and year 12. But bro, if you know how to deal with K, it's not that much harder. You just make that a number. So let's try a year 11, year 12 level question. I'm putting 12 grand in an account. It's at 3.6% per annum. Compounding interest, but this is what's different. Compounding monthly. So what's K going to be? How many months are there in a year? 12. That's the only difference. So I don't know why someone decided that year 10 kids can't handle it. Find the contents of the account after 5 years. So use the formula, A, FV equals, I put 12 grand in there, times by 1 plus 3.6% is a decimal. 0.036 divided by, compounding monthly, 12, to the power of 12 times by 5. So clean that up a bit. 0.036, divide that by 12. I'm dealing with the brackets right now. Add that to 1, so it's 1.003. And that's being raised to the power of 12 times 5 is 60. So that's my working out so far. 1.003 to the power of 60. Leave that number in the calculator, times that by, how much did I put away? 12 grand. So that's telling me $14,362.74 to 2 decimal points. Find the contents of the account after 5 years. That's what we just did. B, find the interest earned on the investment. Interest is going to be $14,362.74 minus 12 grand. $2,362.74. What's that? Using the formula.